All right, so let us start our morning routine. First thing we do when we come in the living room in the morning is to let Willy out. Come on, Willy, let's go. Outside. Come on, Willy. When it's cold, Willy doesn't usually like to go outside. Come on, Willy, let's go. Come on, outside. Willy, come on. So Willy doesn't want to go out. So we'll start the fire, and while I'm doing that, Willy will decide on his own terms that it's time to go outside. All right, so mornings can be kind of hectic here. Might be able to hear the cat in the background whining because it wants its dinner. To start the fire, the paper to start it is over in this box here, and there's some cardboard and stuff. Everything you need to start the fire is there, and then the kindling is underneath this box here. Grab some of that. I usually grab like 5 or 6 pieces. That would be 4. So we'll do 6 pieces. Make it easy. And then Biko will steal one of your pieces of kindling, and hopefully you know how to start a fire. So I won't go through that process, but all right, so I got some paper balled up through a couple little pieces of cardboard over top. Put the kindling on top of that. Matches are under the wood stove. And we will ignite the paper. Paper is ignited. And then what I like to do, just leave this open for a few seconds. And then make sure the vent is all the way to the right. That's so it's wide open. And then I usually just sort of prop the door open a little bit to let the air in for a little while. So Biko's still going crazy. The cat's still wanting its food. So let's go feed the cat now. All right, so the cat gets fed over here in this little box. Get its dish. And then in the fridge, top shelf, left center, is the raw food. Let's give it a slice, chunk of raw food. I don't know. Maybe that much. We'll go with that. I hope you can see me. Maybe that much. And yeah, I'll go give this to the cat. There we go. And now that that is done, we can see that the fire is roaring pretty good. So what we want to do is get some serious wood right here. Start with the smallest pieces you can find on top. And put the smallest pieces on. Close the door, and again, just make sure that this vent is wide open. All right, so the chores upstairs are pretty much done. Biko's going crazy because Biko, he gets some breakfast as well. So he just gets sort of yesterday's leftovers. And there are no leftovers, so let's see if there's any leftovers here. This is from last night's dinner. And here's some leftovers. This is Biko's bowl. All right. So Biko gets the leftovers. And then you want to make sure that the bedroom door is closed. And put this gate across. And that's it for the upstairs morning chores. All right, our next job is to check and see how the solar is doing. First good thing is that this is the inverter here. and we don't see a red light flashing. Red light flashing means bad. You just start the generator right away. So what we want to do now is press on this bottom button in the middle, and we can see how charged the batteries are. So we're at 94%. I don't really worry about that number. That's just, we got 31 hours of power left. So 47.6 volts. I'd like to see at least 48 volts, but last night was a cold night, so the furnace is probably running a lot. And we're using 5 amps right now. We're using 250 watts, and we're down 77 amp hours. So I like to keep that above minus 100. So minus 90, minus 80, minus 20, higher than minus 100, but that's at minus 77. So if it was a cloudy day or looked like it was going to be overcast or whatever, then our generator charges the batteries at 43, let's say 40 amps per hour. Okay, so 40 amps per hour, and we're down, let's round it up to 80 amp hours. That means we need to run the generator for 2 hours to fully charge the batteries. Okay, so 40 amps are going into the batteries from the generator, and we're down 80 amp hours, so we need to run it for 2 hours. But today, let's just go outside real quick, and I'll show you. Oh, the furnace is clicked on again, the boiler. And when we look outside, we will see that the door is frozen. We will see blue skies. We'll see sun in the top of those trees. So what that means is today, we're not going to start with the generator because we've got enough solar panels to charge if it's sunny all day. But we just want to pay attention. And if it gets cloudy in an hour or 2 hours, then we want to come down and check the batteries again. Over there, you'll see the deer waiting for her breakfast. So that is the next chore. Okay. Can you hear them? Everybody's howling upstairs because the deer is outside. So that reminds you that next thing to do in the morning is to feed the deer. And so they get about 3 scoops of this. We'll just leave the camera running. And so the way I like to do this is come outside. Here's the deer over there. Put the food down. And then I come over here and I notice that the solar panels need to be cleaned. Come over here. And I know I said we don't need to start the generator this morning because it's so sunny, which is awesome, but you need to know how to start the generator. So come in here, make sure that this switch is down. It should have been down because that's how you left it last night. And then you just turn the key. And then, and then it's just going to sputter like that for a few minutes because it's got some sort of cold start technology. So it's just going to, sputter for a minute or two. And so while it's busy sputtering, we can come out here. Oh, there's the deer right there. Hello. Do you want your dinner? Okay. Biko's up there going crazy. Hello, Mr. Deer. So this is the hungry one. So she's always here. And there's probably a few across the street just waiting for me. So we'll put a little bit of food here. Oh, it's all. Put some food there. And then, like I said, there should be more deer here. And it's because that one's so bossy. She doesn't let other deer have any. So I usually put some down here. And then a little more over here. So if other deer do show up, they won't get kicked in the head by Miss Bossy Boss. There's Miss Bossy Boss coming now. Oh. Okay. And now I can hear the generator is purring along nicely. So go over here, go back. Then I just put the thing there so I remember to bring it inside. switch. So what that switch does is that switch is what actually powers the house. So the generator, while it's just purring along with the switch down, is not creating any electricity to go into the house. So that switch up is the breaker that energizes that outlet that charges the batteries. So that's why it's so important to do that. Okay, now what we'll do is we're gonna let the horses out and I'll show you how that works. So before doing the horses, I thought we'd just go back into the battery situation here. So you can see now this green light is flashing. That's good. That means the batteries are charging. And we come over here, we look and we see that we're still down 76 amp hours, right? So now we're 76.3, and I'll go to, wait for it, 76.2 because the batteries are charging, okay? And you can see here that 45 amps are going into the batteries, okay? And that's what we want to see. And that's why this number is getting less. All right, so because it's a sunny day, let's go outside and just turn off the generator now. If it was a cloudy day, we'd wait until the batteries are fully charged, or, oh, let me show you that. So when the batteries are fully charged, what you want to look at is there's two things. One, this will be close to zero, okay? Might not be close, might be minus 15, that's fine. But here, the voltage, if this is reading over 58 volts, then the batteries are charged enough. If it's 60 volts, then it's completely charged, okay? So that's what's going to determine how charged the batteries are. This is the true test. It's the voltage. So when we're charging the batteries and this reads 58 volts or higher, that means the batteries are fully charged. All right, so now let's go out and turn off the generator. And we're going to do that in the reverse sequence that we did before, meaning we're going to throw the switch down first. That just, by doing that, that just means that as the generator is like, just chugging off, it doesn't, spurt electricity to the house. By flicking the switch down, the power goes off like in a second, and so none of that spurting going on, right? All right, so come on in here. The light is over here. Put this down and turn the key. There you go. You see how it's going bup, 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 bup. Well, that would still be producing like erratic power if that was going into the batteries, and we don't want that. All right, now let's go and get the horses. All right, so let's see what's happening here this morning. Hello, girls. We're a little bit, it's Sunday morning, we're late getting up, so they want out. So Diaz see how she's trying to get the latch open? This has to be latched for her or she will open the gate. There you go, she's free. Oh, it's a cold morning. You can see the poor little goats are cold. All right. And we let the horses out. Go on. Dina's a weirdo. Now they'll probably go and check on Diaz's food. No, she did not. Huh. It's very un-Nelly-like. All right. Let's close this door. And now it's just time to shovel up all the horse crap and put it in the wheelbarrow. Once your wheelbarrow's all loaded up, roll it out here, dump it at the far side of the pile. Now the one thing about the wheelbarrow is you just want to protect it from the horses. So always have it locked in a stall or something, because if you don't do that, then they just like to smash it. The next job is to fill the hay nets. So grab a bale either from the hay shelter that's attached to the barn or from the greenhouse. And these could just be open like this, or if you need scissors, grab scissors too, whatever you like. I think you can see with this camera, but we'll just move this around. So with this, you just have to push this in, push this button up, and drop this down, and then fill the net pretty much as tight as you can. This just stops them from eating too fast, and if the hay is dusty, it kind of stops them from like burying their nose right into the hay and inhaling all that dust. So you just fill that as tight as you can, and then you just pull this up. And since there's 2 horses in here, Nelly and Zena, they get a little bit extra hay. And I pick this over here for Diaz. And I come over here and do the same thing. So Diaz can open any lock, any latch, anything. So we have to put this extra lock on for her. Otherwise, she opens it and buries her face into the hay, and she's the one who has the trouble with the dust. So we want to try to avoid her from doing that. This net is a little bit smaller than the other net in Zena's stall. Turn that down. Turn that down. There we go. Latch that in and put the lock through. Just feeds through little holes, latches there. And this is a big bale, so she gets a little bit extra too. Put out the corner. Gonna leave the wheelbarrow here, like I say, because I'm gonna close the door. And that way the horses can't get in and smash it. So when we close the door, like I say, Diaz, everything needs to be latched for Diaz, so this just goes through the hole so she can't open it. And the last job is just to fill one of the coolers with water. So let's go over here. This is a deep, what's it called? A hydrant? Hydrant? I don't know. The valve's down on the ground so it won't freeze. Anyway, the way I like to do this, because those buckets are pretty heavy, right? 5-gallon bucket, is when I let it fill, you know, 1/3 maybe. Then I grab the other bucket, I put it underneath, and while this is still relatively light, catch the water, come over here. They didn't drink all that cooler last night, so there's still lots in there. Shut this off. Come back. And there we go. Waters are filled. Bring the bucket back over here again so they don't get access and smash it. Horses like to smash things. And then we come out and close the gate so they don't eat the hay during the day. And we are done. So we'll put the shovel back up here. Turn off the light. Open the door. And then what we like to do is, this is the slider lock. Just push that open for now, and that way the door can't close all the way, and the horses can grab the door and get in there and get some water. So when you come out later in the day, the door will probably be open, but anyway, we try to keep a little bit of heat in there. So we're now done the horse chores. Our next job for this morning is to clear off the solar panels. All right, so the stove shovel thing is right here. So yesterday was warm, and we got like a wet rain, which means it kind of melted onto there and froze. So as long as we get some black showing, the sun will do the rest. All right, so clear the panels as best I could. Like I said, there's a lot of black showing. So in a few, literally in a few minutes, as soon as the sun starts to hit it, it'll melt. It'll all be good. And there we go. That's pretty much it for the morning chores. All we have to do now is go inside and close the damper a little bit on the wood stove. And we are free until dog walk time. Oh, and I forgot to say, don't worry about cleaning off the upper panels. Just do the bottom ones the best you can. The bottom ones are responsible for like 80% of the power generation. And the top ones, they'll clear off eventually, either way. And yeah, it's kind of a dicey ladder getting up there. So don't take any chances. Just clean off the bottom panels.